So the film begins, and we meet Cole. Cole is currently holding a man hostage. Their conversation reveals to us that Cole isn't a professional killer or kidnapper. He's only held this man hostage because he forcibly broke into Cole's house last night. When Cole asks him, "Why did you break into my house?" the man doesn't give him a very satisfactory answer. Cole shoots him, and the scene cuts to music. We're shown a scene from a week earlier. We see Cole at his home. From his setup and other things, we learn that he's a hacker, but he doesn't use his skills for good. Instead, he uses them to hack banks and hotels, withdrawing small amounts of money from their accounts. Today, he hacked a hotel using the hotel's Wi-Fi. He was standing right in front of the hotel, trying to access the Wi-Fi. Accessing the hotel's account, he transfers all the money to multiple fake accounts and leaves. Unaware that a man named Oscar was watching over him, Oscar discovers the hotel account is completely empty. Cole awakens to a strange noise at his home. Upon opening the door, a man bursts in and starts beating him. This is actually the same man Oscar had seen Cole outside the hotel the previous night. It turns out that Oscar owned shares in the same hotel whose account Cole had emptied the previous night. Oscar had also seen Cole's face in CCTV footage, and after visiting Cole's office and home, he realizes he is the hacker. Oscar asks Cole why he did all this and how. Cole doesn't say anything. After a good beating, Oscar tells him, "That was my entire life savings. If I wanted, I could send you to jail, but I won't do that. I don't want to ruin your life. But there's one condition. You have to do a favor for me too, and after that, you can go your way or yours." He tells me that a girl comes to the hotel every second or third day. I overheard her talking to her partner. She has 8 crore in her account. If you empty her account and give me all the money, I won't say anything to you. However, he didn't want to do anything like that. He had never committed such a big theft. But if he hadn't listened to Oscar now, he would have been in serious trouble. That's why he has to agree to Oscar's words. Now, as soon as the girl's hotel reservation is made, Oscar immediately calls Cole to the hotel. Cole couldn't do anything with her from outside the hotel. But during this time, he keeps a close eye on the girl and does some research on her and Oscar. After that, music, when the girl leaves after dinner. He starts following her in his car and then stops outside her house and tries to connect to her Wi-Fi. But the Wi-Fi signal there was very weak. To hack the account, a strong signal was necessary, and for that, Cole had to go a little further inside the house. At this point, he was extremely scared. It was as if he had broken into someone's house to steal. Standing outside the house, he quickly accessed the Wi-Fi and hacked the girl's account, then transferred all the money to different accounts, from where he could then transfer it back to his own. After completing his task, he went to see Oscar and told him that he had transferred all the money back to Oscar's account. Oscar was also very happy. Oscar told him, "It's completely over. Now I won't get in your way, and neither will you get in mine. But yes, today I am very happy. Because you did such a great favor for me, I want to take you to a party." Although Cole was refusing, Oscar forced him to go. Cole, who was already not used to such parties, was already very happy. He feels incredibly strange at this party, and on top of that, someone gives him some strange drugs, which make him delirious. Then, his thoughts start to drift toward the girl whose account he had just emptied. She was deliberately getting close to him, and he couldn't tell if it was reality or just a dream. Anyway, Oscar drops him off at his house that night, and when Cole wakes up in the morning, the same girl he betrayed so badly is on his mind. He can't get her out of his mind. So, now he's thinking about her. He begins gathering information, but none of his social media accounts have that much information about her. So he contacts a hacker friend and asks him to hack Sarah's mobile and laptop. They only find a few videos of Sarah and her brother, and nothing else. He does learn where Sarah goes to eat every day. That's why he goes to the same restaurant today. He sits down next to Sarah to talk, but just then, Sarah's order is ready, and she leaves with her food. Cole can't stop thinking about Sarah, so he goes to her house again tonight and discovers that her fiancé was also there. He hacks Sarah's laptop, listens to their conversation, watches the videos, and discovers that the money he withdrew from Sarah's account didn't actually belong to Sarah, but rather to her fiancé. And now he's angry at Sarah, demanding his money back. But Sarah doesn't know what happened to her money. Music Cole is deeply saddened by Sarah's distress. Francis treats her so badly that he even beats her. This infuriates Cole, and he decides to help Sarah. So he brings her to Oscar and asks him to please return the money. Sarah is in dire straits, but Oscar tells him, "I'm not going to give you a single penny. We had a deal. I wouldn't get in your way, nor would you get in mine. If you try to get in my way, I have evidence against you. It won't take me long to put you in jail." Cole goes to Ankar and searches for the man Sarah met with. He discovers that the man's name is Mark, and he's not married. He's married and has children. He's a high-ranking government official involved in numerous illegal activities, and as a result, he possesses considerable black money. The money he gave Sarah was also black money. To help Sarah, he now wants to gather Mark's complete background. Therefore, he follows Mark for a few days, understands his routine, and also learns that Mark has a guard named Smith who is always with him. During this time, he meets Sarah again, and this time, she speaks to him. Despite all the tension, Sarah feels much better after talking to him. But Cole's guilt grows even greater. Seeing Sahara's predicament, he makes a drastic and dangerous decision. He decides to install devices at all ATMs that will send Cole information about every withdrawal. Cole will then steal small amounts of money from each ATM. But hacking so many cards at once would greatly increase his chances of getting caught. He knew this. But for Sarah's sake, he still takes the risk and somehow manages to raise $500,000. When he was about to hand over the check to Sarah the next night, Sarah saw him and called him over. Cole then hands her the check, which surprised Sarah and asked, "Where did you get such a large sum?" This time, Cole didn't lie and told her, "I'm a hacker music. I hacked your money, and I hacked this money for you." Sarah didn't even hear the second statement. The first statement had her freaking out, and she started abusing Cole. He explained that it wasn't his plan. What was his name? The man whose hotel you used to go to knew that you had 8 crore in your account. If I hadn't listened to him, he would have me thrown in jail, and I didn't even know you at that time. While they're talking, she gets another call from Mark, who gives her a week to gather all the money. She's very worried. Cole asks her why she doesn't run away, but Sarah says that's not possible. Meanwhile, we notice that the man's guard, Simth, is keeping an eye on them. They go to their rooms and discuss their lives and families. Cole reveals that he doesn't have a family and doesn't tell anyone about where he lives. "I can't tell her because it's important for her safety." When Sarah reveals that she only has one brother and that she has no one else in her life. Cole tells Sarah that this is the first time in his life that he's had these feelings for someone and wants to help her. However, this could land him in jail. Then Sarah says, "You don't need to risk it. If you want, we can both escape from here together, and without any money. Mark still has $1 million in this house, and it's all black money. He won't even call the police for it. We'll take that money and run away and settle somewhere far away." But Cole refuses because he's never stolen anything. Cole leaves, and as he goes home, his neighbor quickly arrives and tells him, "Someone broke into your house." She was about to call the police, but Cole arrives before she can. Cole tells him, "Okay, don't call the police. I'll handle it myself." Cole carefully enters the house with a pissball bike, only to be suddenly confronted by Smith. He originally wanted to search Cole's house because he suspected Sed must have kept all his money there, but he finds nothing. Instead, a fierce fight breaks out between Cole and Smith. Smith, a trained bodyguard, overpowered Cole. This time, Cole was armed with a bat, and he hits Smith in the head, knocking him unconscious. He then puts Smith's body in the trunk of his car and drives to a secluded area. By the time he arrives, it's morning. Smith regains consciousness, and Cole takes him hostage at gunpoint. This is the same scene we saw at the beginning of the movie. Now, at gunpoint, Smith asks Smith, "What did you come to my house looking for? What do you want? What do you want to find out?" Smith tells him bluntly, "I came to find out about you." Cole asks him, "What do you want to find out about me? You're doing all this for your boss. What does your boss want?" Smith tells him, "My boss hasn't found out about you yet. You better disappear before he finds out. Otherwise, you'll be in a very bad light." In fact, he had overheard Cole and Sarah's conversation and knew everything. In a fit of rage, Cole shoots him. After all this, Cole immediately comes to Sarah and tells her, "We have to escape from here quickly. You make a plan quickly. Let's steal the money from here and leave." But Sarah tells him, Getting the money isn't that easy. The money is in a safe locker of hers, the code of which I don't know. Sarah hadn't told him all this before. Now, a solution had to be found. Sarah says if they can hack his phone, it'll be easy, because he controls everything in his house, even the CCTV camera security, from his phone. Hacking the phone required access to it. So, Sarah calls Mike and says, "I'm sorry for what I did. All your money is safe, and I want to return it to you. Can you meet me once?" When Mike responds, they're delighted, as half their work is already done. After the cup, they go to Oscar, whose hotel Sarah and Mark used to dine at. He's brought him a big offer. He just has to do a small favor for them: work as a doorman at his own hotel. Afterward, Sarah hands him Mark's phone and gives it to Cole. From there, Cole hacks the phone. Oscar then simply had to go and hand the phone to the man Mark in a way that made it appear as if he had thrown it at the door. Everything went according to plan. However, we learned that Cole wasn't there. Cole had taught Oscar a bit of hacking. As Oscar quickly connects the phone to his laptop, Mike, sitting on the other end, hacks the entire system. Using this phone system, he not only unlocks the house's security locks, but also disables all the cameras and then accesses his locker. The password to this locker was quite simple. Upon opening the locker, he discovers a large amount of money, which he quickly puts into a bag. Meanwhile, we are shown that this locker is a real mess. All the while, Sarah kept Mark completely engrossed in conversation, keeping him from thinking about his phone or his home. She even started crying to reassure him, and Mark agreed to stay with her again. While they were talking, he finally remembered his phone. He was about to get up from his car to get it when Sarah started panicking. Thankfully, Oscars came just in time and returned it to him, saying, "Music, you dropped it in the parking lot." After all this, Sarah goes to the bathroom to freshen up, and here the movie's biggest twist is revealed. Oscar comes to meet her, and it turns out that Oscar, whom we thought was Sarah's financial enemy or Sarah's enemy, was actually partners. They both wanted to fool Mark and rob him, using the innocent Cole as a hacker. At this point, they decide that Oscar will bring back all the money Cole stole at gunpoint, after which he and Sarah will leave. Sarah tells him that Cole is innocent and not to harm him. And here, we sense that deep down, she's developed feelings for Cole. Meanwhile, we see Cole, who is in a predicament as his plan begins to go awry just as it's about to be completed. As he's about to leave the house with the bag of money, Mark's wife arrives. Seeing him, she uses the back door to escape. But Mark's wife senses a commotion. She goes to check and finds the back door open. Terrified, she calls Mark and informs him. Upon learning that the back door is open, Mark realizes that Sarah is definitely playing a game with him. He also realizes that Sarah is conspiring with someone to steal his money. That's why he threatens her. Her life is at stake. That's why she doesn't lie and tells the whole truth. Meanwhile, she receives a call from Cole, asking if she's okay. Mark tells her to tell him to come to a new location. Under pressure from Mark's gun, Sarah pretends she's in no danger and invites him to the new location Mark had provided. She also shares this new location with Oscar. When Cole arrives, we see that Oscar has already arrived and points a gun at Cole. He was about to ask Cole for money when Mark arrived, and Mark pointed a gun at both of them. They were both men. Neither cared for their own lives, but both cared for Sarah's life. Mike then holds Sarah at gunpoint and makes her dance to his tune. He had captured Sarah and brought her to a special place. This was a crime area where human corpses were burned, and it was here that Mark always burned all his enemies, alive. When he ordered Cole to be burned first, Sarah begged for Cole's life, and he shot Sarah. Seeing this, Cole immediately came to Sarah, picked her up, and fled. Meanwhile, Oscar, who had attacked Mark in a rage, was strangling him and even knocked him down. But then, Mark found a rod and stabbed it into Oscar's stomach from behind. Oscar suffered immense pain, but despite all this, he refused to let go. Mark was even suffocated to death. Sarah, who was there at the time, was about to die. Before dying, she apologizes to Cole and tells him to give all the money to her brother. Although Sarah never told Cole this, Cole already knew that Sarah's real name wasn't Sarah and that she had a brother. Sarah wanted all the money to go to her brother to secure his future, as he was only 12 years old. Cole makes this promise to her and she dies. Just then, Oscar, wounded, arrives. He can't walk, yet he's still angry at Cole. Even in such a difficult time, his only concern is money. At gunpoint, he takes the ball to his car. But suddenly, a gunshot rings out, and we see Oscar killed. We're shown that the shooter was already lying in wait, and it was none other than a sniper. In fact, it was actually Mark's bodyguard, whom Cole didn't kill that day. He simply shot a stone in anger, and from then on, the two became part of a new plan. Cole already knew that Oscar and Sarah were going to betray him, and that Mark was a bad person. He learned this through Smith, who was always watching Sarah, and that's when they hatched this revenge plan. Although Cole didn't trust Smith completely, he had hacked Sarah's laptop and personally witnessed Sarah and Oscar together. After all this, he was devastated. Sarah, for whom he had taken such huge risks, was betraying him. This was why he devised this revenge plan and even agreed to rob Mark's house. Cole enlisted Smith because Cole didn't like his boss. Smith, too, always liked honest people, but his job required him to provide security for Mark. He also always wanted to enjoy life at home with his children. That's why Cole promised him that after this work was over, they would split the money equally, and that way, Smith would live a good life, and so would Cole. As promised, Cole gives Smith a bag full of money. Smith then begins to store Oscar and everyone else's bodies there. Cole then leaves, and the movie ends with this.